Today's show is all about the most expensive states in the US to live in. But before you start making any guesses about which one occupies the top spot, let me just say that it's not what you think it is. Any guesses? I'll give you a hint. The most expensive state to live in lies well away from the mainland, but it's still part of the US. But what about the other ones? Is your state one of the most expensive ones to live in? So let's start with our list of the 7 most expensive states to live in, starting with the least expensive and working our way up to the most expensive. At number 7, we have Maryland. The cost of living in Maryland is 24% higher than the national average, while housing prices are 66% higher. However, despite the high cost of housing, Maryland has the second highest house affordability rate in the nation, with 57.16% of residents having incomes that would support owning a home. The typical single-family home costs $366,581, and a 2-bedroom apartment rents for $1,041 per month on average. Additionally, healthcare costs in Maryland are the second lowest in the USA. The median income for a family of 4 in Maryland is $130,252 annually, substantially more than the $100,959 needed to make ends meet for a household with 2 working adults. Maryland has the 5th lowest poverty level in the nation, with just 9.1% of residents living at or below the poverty line. The 6th most expensive state to live in is Alaska. Alaskans have to contend with high living costs in addition to the state's other challenges. The cost of living index is 127.1, which means that housing and healthcare expenses are significantly above average when compared to the rest of America. For instance, groceries cost 35% more than what shoppers would expect to pay elsewhere in the country. Alaskans have a median income of $101,965 for families of 4 and only require a living wage of $90,080. They also receive oil dividends that act as extra income. Even with all this money coming in, Alaska is still consistently ranked as one of the worst states to live in due to poor education systems resulting in bad outcomes, high levels of crime, and few opportunities. At number 5, we have Oregon. Comparatively, the living costs in Oregon are slightly more expensive than in other states in the US. However, this is primarily due to higher housing and utility costs. The average cost of a single-family home in Oregon is $447,968, one of the highest prices in the nation. Home affordability is also quite low, with less than 25% of residents able to afford a new home. Additionally, 2-bedroom apartments typically cost $1,185 per month, and utilities run an average household $333 per month. While prices are higher than the national average, so are incomes. The state's median income for a family of 4 is $100,533, and the living wage for a similar family is $96,003 annually. At number 4, we have Massachusetts. On average, housing in Massachusetts costs 77% more than the national average, with the most expensive prices located in Boston. The typical single-family home in Massachusetts would cost $518,203. Compared to other states, an average 2-bedroom apartment rents for $1,360 a month, although in Boston, it's nearly triple that amount. While the average cost of groceries and health insurance in Massachusetts is higher than in most other states, the poverty level here is relatively low, with only 9% of residents living at or below the poverty line. At number 3, we have California. At $683,996, the average price of a single-family home in California is more than twice the national average. The state also has some of the highest rents in the country, with a 2-bedroom apartment averaging $1,614 per month. However, transportation costs are even higher due to California's notoriously high gas prices. As a result of these high costs of living, homeownership rates in California are among the lowest in the nation. A family of 4 in California needs an income of $105,232 just to make ends meet, but the median family only brings in $110,255 a year. As if that weren't bad enough, California also has the highest rate of homelessness in America. At number 2, we have New York. New York is an expensive state, and this is largely due to the expenses associated with living in New York City. The cost of living index for New York State is 148.2, while the national average rests at 100. Additionally, housing costs in New York are 2.3 times more than in the rest of America. A two-bedroom apartment averages around $5,874 per month. Even outside of the city limits, homes typically go on sale for $373,880, well above what most Americans can afford. Housing in New York is alarmingly unaffordable for its residents, with only 25% of people making enough money to be able to afford a new home. In fact, New York has the lowest rate of homeownership in the country. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the most expensive state to live in, is Hawaii. The cost of living in Hawaii is, on average, nearly double what it is nationally. Across all indexes, Hawaii has some of the highest costs in the country, with the exception of healthcare. Housing costs 3 times more than the national average, and sadly, this means that only 29% of residents can afford to buy a home in their own state. In Honolulu, a two-bedroom costs $3,500 a month. Renters pay an average of $1,651 for a two-bedroom apartment in the state. Groceries also cost 50% more than the national average, as most goods have to be shipped to the island. However, despite the high cost of living, Hawaii has the fourth lowest poverty rate. The median income in Hawaii is $118,223 a year for a family of 4, significantly higher than the living wage of $107,702 a year. Did you know that the average family of 4 in the United States requires $68,808 a year to cover their basic necessities? While the median household income is only $67,521 annually, meaning that most families living in the United States are struggling just to get by. This wraps up our episode on the most expensive states to live in. If you're looking for more useful personal finance videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.